104.1 KRBE, a Cumulus media station.
Good morning, everyone.
We ready?
Live from the TXU Energy Studio.
The Rula and Ryan Show with Eric, featuring Special K and Sam.
All right, we're going to do a little kind of a food war situation. Like, what food warred with your stomach? Usually food wars is like we try and battle foods against each other, but Eric and I were talking on Friday, like, man, we haven't done food wars in such a long time.
Well, do I need to play the thing?
Oh, do you want it? Well, you worked so hard on that when you first made it.
I can barely play it ever.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Don't send a code 3.
104.1.
KRBE.
Food wars, what you gonna pick? Which one delicious, which one to make you sick? Food wars, which one is it best? Which one's a winner, which one you detest?
Food Wars. All dishes remain equal until proven more tasty.
But this isn't about tasty this morning.
Food wars in the past, we've done it like best Super Bowl food to eat during the game, best favorite thing to grill for summer, 4th of July stuff, Labor Day, Memorial Day, all that stuff. Okay, this basically is the question. What is something you will just not eat anymore, and why? Why'd you write this food off? What happened?
Might be something I had last night. I don't feel good.
Oh, what'd you eat?
I just had a sleeve of saltine crackers with butter.
Wait, that was your dinner?
Butter crackers was dinner?
That's girl dinner.
That's your Wagovi dinner?
I had that deli chicken salad thing for lunch like at 2:30.
Okay.
So it was a weird time to have lunch.
Yeah.
And then I'm not that hungry. And then I was like, I was watching the basketball championship. And I had a bourbon, and I'm like, I'll make some crackers and like that.
Butter
And by the time
crackers.
I kept eating them, the whole sleeve was gone.
You ate the entire thing? That's a lot of butter.
A sleeve of saltines.
I got the saltines with their mini one.
The half packs.
They're half
The
packs, so you feel like, I ate one pack.
Snack packs.
But if you have them together, it's a sleeve.
It is.
And that butter.
And salted butter with saltine crackers, delicious.
I'm going to have a heart attack.
Delicious.
Well, I know what you're going to be doing today.
But why? Why would he? Crackers and
You
butter.
know that butter? That's going to loosen you up.
It'd be a slip and slide.
I don't think so.
It will be a slip
You
and
guys have weak
slide.
stomachs if that's going to send you to the toilet.
No,
you need to go check with your
If you eat
doctor.
a stick of butter, that's going
He didn't eat a stick of butter. He
Pretty
ate a
much.
sleeve of crackers.
That's a lot of butter, though.
How much butter were you putting on these crackers? My God.
Smothered it nice and...
Anyway.
Smothered butter.
Suckers. Okay, let's go to Misty on the line, 833-390-KRBE. Misty, what is a food that you just will not eat anymore and why? Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
I will not touch lima beans.
Oh, God, I know.
I feel
Lima
you.
beans are the worst.
Now tell us why specifically lima beans in your world.
So growing up as a kid, our mom was big on, vegetables. Eat your spinach, your lima beans, and I just could not stomach them. So she would make us sit at the table until we finished our plates. So I had a grandmother that would come take them off my plate in a napkin and throw them in the garbage.
Nice.
Love nice
her.
that you have a nice grandma.
And here's my question, Misty. As we've grown up, I think we all have stories of something our parents force-fed us that we hated, but maybe we came to appreciate it as adults because it was cooked better or correctly versus the way our parents used to make it, and you actually liked it, so you came back around to it. But you've never tried some other way a lima bean can be cooked? You just are like so traumatized from childhood?
Yeah, I've tried them. I think it's a texture thing.
They're mealy.
But
They're real mealy.
it is-
Good word.
And so are kidney
and it's
beans.
definitely an association.
Do you like kidney beans?
I do.
Okay, see, that's weird because I feel like they're the same kind of weird.
But lima
texture.
beans have a horrible flavor.
It's like a velvet
I don't know
texture.
what it is, but there's so many beans out there, and lima
I've
are
never
the
met
worst.
a lima bean farmer. Like, I grew up making soybeans and corn. But lima beans, I looked up California, that's where they make them. So we need to go find those guys and punch them in the throat.
Yes, unpopular
Stop
opinion.
making
I don't
these.
mind lima beans. Ever since
Gross.
my
Oh,
parents made
God.
them, they made them so delicious and amazing. I love lima beans.
I've
I
never
think it's
heard
great.
of delicious
Especially back then,
lima
they didn't
beans.
they made them crappy.
Listen, if you go to my Instagram right now, Misty at Radio Rula, I posted this thing that I saw last night. I go, why? I'm so glad I wasn't alive in the 60s. I have to endure this. The stupid, disgusting things that people in the 60s were told in cookbooks, this is a great meal. That aspic Jello mold with chicken and peas and beans in it. Like, what is with the Jello molds with the clear consomme? Disgusting,
Jell-O
disgusting.
molds.
Okay, let's go to Carmela on the line at 8:30. Thank you for calling, by the way, Misty. I'll think of you when next time I eat my lima beans. Carmela's up next at 833-390-KRVE. We're talking about a food you just will not eat anymore, and tell us why. Hi, Carmela.
Hi.
Hey, good morning. What's that food?
Prego spaghetti sauce. Never, ever again.
Why?
Why that brand?
Oh, that brand, and it's just that brand. Because when I was pregnant with my first baby, I had like all day, everyday sickness, and her dad made me this spaghetti meal with dill noodles and Prego spaghetti sauce.
Dill
And the smell
noodles?
of it was so bad, I had to shove towels up against the bedroom door and hide out in the bedroom because I was so sick.
Wow.
But do you feel that because this is based on a time when you were pregnant and your senses aren't quite the same,
Yeah.
that maybe you could give it another try?
Because how old is your
Oh,
kid? Is
no.
your baby now?
No.
How old is that baby now? Like 20?
She's 30. She's 30 years old and has 3 babies of her own.
Wow, and you can't even do Prego spaghetti
That's
sauce
hilarious.
still because of her pregnancy.
What's
That's
a dill spaghetti? I don't.
Yeah,
I
what's
never
dill
heard of
spaghetti?
know
that.
dill rice.
Hell if I know. It's disgusting.
Hell if I knew.
They mix the dill.
They
Like,
do have different kinds of spaghettis, especially like Nutcracker Market or like at specialty food stores. They'll have like porcini mushroom spaghetti or jalapeno fettuccine.
I
things
do
like
that
that.
protein spaghetti.
I can see that. Chickpea spaghetti with dill. All right, dill spaghetti and Prego spaghetti sauce, a nope. In my world, when I was pregnant with the first child, oh man, salmon, nope, and never
God,
again.
just the smell of
did you
it.
ever come back to it? Or
My
you back?
first child is 14 years old, and I started eating salmon again 2 years ago. It took 12 years to get it
Oh,
back.
I love salmon.
Me too.
I just could not, y'all.
I just don't like
could
that
not.
when you flip over that gray line.
It's just fat.
I know it's fat, but in my mind, I think it's like a
The poop track.
yeah. I don't know why.
Definitely not
that's not
fat.
it.
That's what I
No,
think.
but that's what he's thinking, like
I think
in a
look at it
shrimp
and
when you
cut
pull
it
out
you're
the
like,
string.
This is just gross.
Yeah.
It's just a
No,
chunk of.
I do like fish skin. You know, Kevin and I can go to lunch, and I will gladly eat the skin of the fish right
It's
off
gotta be
his
crunchy,
plate,
though, right?
'cause it's so delicious.
It can't be the
Yes.
wet kind. Like
No,
uh,
she
Even
eats
if
the
it's wet,
slimy
I like
one.
the
She
slimy
eats
one
Wait,
the
the slimy
slimy.
one?
Oh my God,
Ew.
it's so good.
I'm having
All
chills
that-
now.
All the omega-3s,
having
Kevin.
chills.
I thought you meant
All
just
the
the crunchy.
omega-3s are in that fish oil. Yes, I love it all. Give me some fish skin, but
Oh,
I
I can
don't like.
feel it slick on my tongue right now.
But listen,
I'm
salmon
already
skin
feeling ill.
sushi rolls, absolutely not. I ordered that once thinking, oh, I like fish skin. Let me try this. No, thank you. Salmon
A
skin
lot of people are
sushi
texting
rolls.
things that they don't like anymore because of their parents, like
Forcing them.
forcing them to eat it, or they'll whip you. They whipped them.
that's the
That's
worst.
why
The liver.
I'm such a terrible eater today because, and I'm sure some of these foods would probably be good to me now, but it's because my parents, my dad in particular, was so militant. And he always had, like, if we had company and I wasn't eating something, he'd stick me with a fork in the leg
Trying to get you to
and
behave.
force me to eat this stuff. And that's what made me such a picky eater as an adult. When I turned 18 and got out of the house, I'm like, I'm never eating that crap again.
Why do you think you don't like seafood?
I just don't like the taste or the smell.
Shrimp?
I feel
No,
like if you
I don't
weren't
like
raised
it.
with it in the right way, you would be thrown off by it. You're like, oh, it's fish or it's clams.
But even like
if you weren't
anything?
raised with it.
No, I don't
Shrimp are
like
so
any
delicious.
even like fish
seafood.
sticks?
No, don't like it. And I even worked at, as a teenager, I worked at Long John Silver's.
Can you really say you worked there? You were there for like 2 days with
3.
the pirate hat, you said?
Yeah.
That doesn't even count.
I threw my hat in the fryer.
That's ridiculous.
Roland knows all my stories.
Yes.
And now they don't even make their own stores, right? Aren't they always mixed with like?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
like a Taco Bell or
Because
something.
they're
A&W,
owned by, I think,
or
the
something.
Pepsi company or
Right.
owns them. And like,
KFC
I have
or
a
something.
KFC Taco Bell combo near where I live.
Do the people have to make both, or do they have like half and half?
I mean, the kitchen's one kitchen.
Is it one kitchen for
Yeah.
both, and it's the
I
same
think
person
for
that delivers
everything.
both?
Probably when they do that
I've
kind
never
of
been to
split
one of
thing.
them.
Have you seen the Pizza Hut Taco Bells? It's all in the same place.
They have a Pizza Hut Taco Bell.
I've never
Yeah,
seen
Taco
that.
Bell has Pizza Hut, don't
Yeah,
they?
yeah, some of them do. Absolutely.
Yeah, Pizza Hut Taco
They'll
Bell.
do a split.
Right.
I think it's the
You can order
PepsiCo company that owns them.
Right.
Can you do a drive-through for the pizza?
Yeah.
Or
That's how I've
They
seen
make the
sign.
little mini ones.
the mini ones,
cute little mini
the 5
ones.
minutes or
Personal
less
pizzas.
one you used
Oh.
to get back in
God,
the
I
day.
love those. They had them at University of Houston.
They sure
Or
did.
Target.
Oh, yes, at
has
Target when
them
you check
too.
out.
Right, they do have that too.
But
Okay,
for Kevin there, he'll either be at your local Wendy's eating, or he'll be in that
Target, sitting alone at Target in front of Target, that little pizza kiosk.
fine. I'll wait for the pepperoni. It's fine.
I'll wait 4 more minutes.
I'll wait.
Ty is up next at 833-390-KRBE. Hi, Ty.
Hi, good morning.
Hey, Ty.
What is a food that you used to eat or just don't eat it anymore, and tell us why?
Chitlins, and I don't know why, because when I was a kid, every Christmas we loved that with some hot sauce. Like that was the thing.
Yep.
But now, as grown, looking at it, it's like that's really why the appearance of it. I don't know what was possessing me to eat it.
So it's an ugly food.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is.
It's like a no go. Like it's just like no. Like
Well,
that's
maybe because you know
another
what it
thing,
is
like ramen
now.
noodles.
And
What
it's
are
getting in your mind.
chitlins?
It's
I still don't even know what it is, so
Honey.
don't even tell me that.
Honey, I'm about to tell you because there's a
You know
reason
what's
why
in
you
it?
don't like it.
Here's what's in it.
It's made from the intestines of pigs.
Yep.
In Southern Soul
see,
Food, it's
now
pig
you just
intestine.
messed it up for me for real.
Sometimes cow intestines or calf intestines
See,
are
trust
used,
your
but
gut.
mostly it's pig intestine.
I always wonder.
You
Like,
want to eat
how
it,
do-
but
how
now you
does-
know it's you did a good thing. Now
I
you
guess
know.
it was out of necessity.
Well, I'm
Use every
really
part of
not
the
eating.
animal.
I don't really eat pork at all. Like ribs used to be something I love. Now, if they're not beef, I'm not touching it.
Yeah.
But sometimes I get a taste for it during the summertime of the good 4th of July. But chitlins, oh no.
No.
I can do the pork skin like chicharrones, but I cannot do the chitlins. I can't do the intestines.
No,
of
Dookie
any
passed
animal.
through there.
I just can't. I just can't.
It's
Y'all
going right
are
back to
so
Eric's
right, oh,
fish
Lord.
problem.
Yeah, same with the salmon. Yeah, I do.
713-278-VENT. That's 8368. Tell us the food you used to eat, but nope, not anymore. And tell us why.
There's a 369 dating rule. Have you heard of this one? 369.
We know the 666,
Yeah.
but 369, don't know anything
And some are
about
like,
that.
what's the 666? What's the 369? Well, we're going to open your eyes to all of it.
I want the
Next.
333.
What's we're going to find out all what the numbers mean.
As soon as the mic goes off, he's going to explain it to Rula.
What do the
and
numbers
go,
mean?
ooh.
You'll find out next on the Rule and Ryan Show with Eric. Tipsy. That's a different kind of tipsy in 2025 versus the original Everybody in the Club getting tipsy. Okay, it's the Rule and Ryan Show with Eric. And if you are tipsy, well, you're probably in the dating world on a Friday night, Saturday night, talking all kinds of randos on apps or in person.
We can talk about the 666 rule real quick.
Just real fast.
That's
The
what's easy.
666 rule is at least 15 years old. It is where the man has to be pulling in at least a 6-figure salary, has to be minimum 6 feet tall, and also the 6 has to regard downtown measurements.
Length.
That's what it is. Downtown measurements, 6. Okay. Anyway,
That's
so
it.
that's the 666 rule we knew about years ago.
Everybody just goes, what do you
Sorry.
mean? She just made it so it's not supposed to be.
Sorry.
Okay.
All right.
So what is the 369 rule, Eric?
This is basically, it's more like a guideline, they say. 3 key phases at the 3, 6, and 9 months of your relationship.
Oh.
To assess, they're saying the relationship's how it stands. Like they say month 0 to 3 when you're, what do you call that?
The honeymoon period, the
yeah.
butterflies.
The honeymoon
Butterflies,
phase.
you're all
Everything is
The fun,
awesome.
flirty early stage. You're getting to know each other. Chemistry. Just a lot of fun. And it just, basically this whole thing every 3 months, it's giving you a time to look and see, is this what I want to do? Is this the person I want to be with?
Yeah.
And then, then 3 to 6 is the conflict phase. Have you heard of that one?
I've not heard of this.
I
What
don't know
is
what
that?
conflict.
It says the honeymoon glow dims. You begin to see flaws, and then you have the little minor arguments.
So you got to make
with
a
each other.
decision.
So-
How are you going to react to this? Because that's going to then set up the rest
Yeah,
of
because
your
that
relationship.
tests your emotional safety with each other.
Right,
so,
Okay.
right.
So then that's
Okay.
another one. And then at 9 or month 6 through 9, it says deeper conflict and reflection. Bigger issues will obviously surface. You're going to go through laughter, but tension together, and it reveals whether you can handle challenges together.
So it's saying
So
don't.
from 6 to 9, that's when you really get challenges with.
Yeah, so don't make decisions before the 9th month or the 8th
And think about
month.
that. That's a lot of times too with the holidays and stuff too. By the time
It's
you
true.
get by the time you get 9 months in, you pretty
Right.
much had to have some holidays, right?
Right, exactly right.
What's
No
the
matter
perfect time
when you
not-
started dating, 9 months, you've hit a holiday.
Unless you go January. Well, no, you just have.
Yeah, but some
So you
holidays
start
have more
February.
significance.
If you start in February, you're in October, so you went through summer.
Yeah, but you
Maybe
don't
a
get you don't
vacationing
get the
time or
biggies.
4th of July.
Yeah.
You
You
don't have
miss
the
all the-
Christmas and the
You
Thanksgiving.
know, I'm not going to
And
put
Valentine's Day.
Arbor Day on the same level as
No, but
Christmas
we're
or
talking about-
Thanksgiving.
What?
A vacation could come up. That could be a stumble for some people. Like, oh, she wants to go on a vacation with me. I'm not really sure.
And then
We're
they
only dating
go
3 months.
Month
2 months.
9. Like you got engaged after 9 months, right?
9 months, yeah.
That's the decision making phase.
Yep, that's
See?
when it was. 9 months.
You've experienced the highs and lows. It's time to decide. You want this person in your future, and that's why this thing works. They say to treat it like every 3 months, reevaluate. It's kind of
Now,
like
can
at
we
work.
put an
You're going to do
asterisk, though?
something, and you're going to we'll come back to this. We'll reevaluate down the road.
Is this for all ages? Because if your daughter was 20 years old, Eric, do you want her to follow this rule?
I mean, I think it's a good rule to have.
Rula's got a good point, though, because when you're younger, the passage of time is not the same. When you're
Right.
older, everything moves a lot faster.
And you're more seasoned as an adult. You've been burned maybe, or you might know what you want or you don't want or you want to stand for.
I think
you
the
can
key is just
see.
for us all not to put our head in the sand
Yeah.
and ignore things with tension and fights and things.
I think the 6 to 9 is a really great point because it's all about how you handle that conflict is how you set up the rest of your relationship. If your mate does something that makes you mad or uncomfortable and you don't like nip that in the bud and tell them, hey, this is how that made me feel, or I don't like this, or don't do that, you're just not confrontational about it, then it's going to be more difficult after time to be like, hey, what's your problem? You were okay with it before.
I feel like
why aren't you okay with it now?
My kids are dating and they're in their 20s. I'd be like, so what was it like when you guys argue? Tell me about that. How does it work? Like, I'd like to see how this person, does he fight fair? Does he get dirty? Does he do zings on them? Or do you never have
hit below
fights?
the belt?
Taking pot shots.
Like, taking like emotional.
They fight. They just leave. Oh, I mean, we got in a fight last week and it got bad. He left for the night. I don't know where
See,
he
that's
went.
not good.
If I hear something like that as a dad, I'd be like,
problem.
Yeah,
no.
You got to get out. Like when every fight, there's the possibility of breaking up. That is not healthy.
No.
That is not normal.
At any age.
Yeah, if you're always breaking up. Okay, actually, can we discuss this for a second? Because you know how you see a movie that you love so much and then somebody ruins it for you by telling you, if we write this down, this is very toxic. There was this thing running on Instagram for a long time, how The Notebook is so toxic. Because every time Noah and Allie would have a fight, they'd be like, over. But they were 17.
They're just immature.
They were 17, right? Because they're having this whole fight outside the house and she's crying. And then he gets in his truck, just, we're not over, are we? She goes, fine, leave then. I hate you. And they're just, wait, we're not really over, right, Noah? We're not over,
not
right?
really a good way to
back
live.
And forth.
Yeah.
But they were 17. And they're like, oh. And then she came back to him as an adult. They connected as adults. And that's when they really knew if it was going to be in or out. Yep. I guess, when you're 17, obviously, emotions are crazy.
Yeah, no.
So I think that's very good.
Count.
If you're just tuning in, we're talking about the 369 dating rule, 0 to 3 months honeymoon phase.
Just Google it if you wanted to know more about it. Just Google what's the 369 dating rule.
3 to 6 conflicts start to arise, and then 6 to 9 real stuff.
You do start learning a lot at 6 months in.
And this is interesting. It says it gives you structured checkpoints to evaluate if the relationship can handle real life.
Real life.
Yeah.
That's true, though.
At 9 months.
Where do you find that about
38,
like
40.
debt? 3 to 6 or 6 to 9?
I bet they probably might not tell you if it's bad, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if
They won't.
the person
When
is
somebody's secretive
has
about their
college
finances-
loans, they need to try and beat down. Do you think they should probably
There's
talk
probably
about
signs of it. Like I don't have a credit card, or I can't, it's maxed out or something.
I mean, I think anybody who has a college degree today, in the conversation of dating this person, newly dating, is like, oh, did your parents pay for your college? Because if they didn't, you probably have a tremendous amount of compound interest debt.
That's true.
Most people, the majority is to have college debt versus not have college debt, right? Isn't it rare to not have college debt?
Or when do you tell me how much you make? When do you tell me your salary?
That? When do you tell them that? What's the timing?
What did you guys do?
It's been so long now. We don't.
I never found out.
No?
I never did.
Did you ever share?
Oh yeah, I shared. But it didn't.
That's why
it didn't
she's
work
like,
the
no.
other way.
She's like, that's it. No.
It was not reciprocated.
Radio? No.
It was not reciprocated.
That's it. No.
I think in my world, because we got engaged at 9 months, it was definitely before that. I don't have exact timeline of when, but it was somewhere in there. Not too soon, but once we knew this was the one. I remember when I knew it was going to happen. Like, not that we were going to get engaged that day, but I knew this is the person I'm going to marry. Because I remember thinking to myself, is this what our parents hope for? That we just meet somebody that we feel like this about? Like, this is like the dream, right? This is the dream for our parents, to know that their child met somebody they feel safe with, they have a good relationship with, that they love. I remember saying that to him. It's like, wow, this is really like what your parents dream of, that you can only hope that your child meets somebody that's good for them the way you're good for them. That's when I thought about it. I was like, this is the right thing.
I just look back, like, if my kids dated, like, if I was dating, if they're dating someone that was like me at that time, I'd be like mad. I'd be like, no, you can do way better than him.
Wait, so if you were your mother-in-law or father-in-law, you would have told your wife, dump him.
Yeah.
That's really good, Eric, actually.
Well,
how many people right now have their own scenario exactly like you? You're like, no, you can't date someone like me.
I just got divorced like that January. And so we started dating in June, like 6 months later. I have a 4-year-old. I have not a pot to pee in. I had nothing.
But she saw your potential. She believed in you.
Yeah, but she didn't care about money.
She kept saying, no one's going to love you like I love you. And then she was like, okay.
I would totally, man. Her parents are really cool.
And I was actually surprised that, she does have such a great relationship with her parents, and her parents are super smart, that you're lucky her dad did not kibosh you. If her dad kiboshed you, you'd be over.
Well, think about it. They left. They could have lived in Saudi Arabia and been rich beyond belief, working. on his job there, but he didn't want his kids to grow up.
Yeah, he wanted America
back then. But,
but how does that relate to her?
Because he wanted them. He had girls, and he didn't see a future for them.
Right.
As much. And I'm not trying to knock Saudi Arabia or anything. I'm just saying that's how they felt. They wanted to come to America where the kids would have a chance.
Yeah.
So that's why he didn't knock you down?
Maybe,
is that what you're saying?
Maybe just, I would have knocked me down. I'd be like, wait, I came all the way. I had that job making good bank. I came to America to start over, and then you marry this loser? No.
This guy does a whole sectional.
He's on the radio?
He has a section.
He's not even with Eric. He's just producer Eric. No.
He's just this guy who sometimes will laugh in the background.
Yeah, back then, yeah.
He turned into you did laugh in the background, and then.
But he came over here thinking that there are more opportunities.
Are you guys going to be? How about with your daughter when she dates?
Oh, I'm going to be hardcore. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough.
She's very secretive. Like she does it all stems back to one.
If I was Alexandra, I would never tell Rula about me dating anyone. I'd keep that boy's secret for as long as possible until
Rula's
she gets. Rula be like peeking out the shades, like who's dropping her off? Who was that? Who was that? Kukla?
Ryan to be all cool. The Rula's the one that's going to be crazy.
No, I want them to trust me enough to tell me when they're in trouble or they're hurting or whatever it is, and also have their antennas up. I want them to listen to their guts. I'm trying to reinforce that so much because even if you don't want to tell me, listen to your gut, listen to your gut. We had that woman call our show on Friday, and I told even your daughter, Eric, the whole story of Becky, who her gut caused her to roll out of a moving vehicle. That is how strong the gut instinct was. She rolled out of a moving vehicle to get away from danger, and she was still so scared of her parents, she didn't tell them this happened. I said, never be that scared of us. No. Please never be that scared of us, that you cannot tell us that you almost got kidnapped. And you have to roll yourself out of a van.
I've always tried to instill that in my daughter, and it goes back to like when she was just becoming of age with drinking. And I'm like, please, love of God, don't ever get in the car with somebody who's been drinking. I will not be mad. Here, get an Uber, do whatever you have to do. Even if they seem like they've only had one or two drinks, do not get in a car where somebody's been drinking.
Yeah, it's
my parents would be mad at me.
No.
Who cares?
Never be that scared of me that I'll be that mad. I would rather have your life be safe or the people around you be safe than, okay, if you're late, you're late. Fine. I just want to know you're okay and you're safe. I'll come get you. I don't care if you wake me up, which is hard to wake me up, by the way. My kids have called me 15 times. I didn't wake up.
Wear your watch.
Call your dad's phone. Don't call your mom's. All right, coming up next in Celebrity Scoop, this topic came up over the weekend, and I thought, you know what? I don't think enough people know this story. Dakota Johnson's grandmother is the reason the majority of the nail salons in America are Vietnamese owned. Do you know this story?
Oh.
Dakota Johnson's grandmother is the reason, and I'll explain next in Scoop on KRBE.
KRBE, the Rula and Ryan Show with Eric.
All right, Celebrity Scoop is brought to you by Taqueria Sarandas. And over the weekend, this story came up again on my Instagram. And I thought, I don't think enough people know this amazing story. Dakota Johnson, obviously, making the rounds with Chris Evans, promoting their next project. And she's
50 Shades of Girl, right?
Yeah, she's 50 Shades of Grey.
She broke up with that Coldplay guy, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, weren't they engaged?
Chris Martin?
I thought they broke up.
Did they? I gotta Google that.
She was with Chris Martin.
For a long time.
Okay.
For a long time. It was kind of like a really private type of relationship where the paparazzi didn't seem to hound them.
Or was it Steve Martin?
No,
there's a big difference there.
Hold on. Chris Martin, Dakota Johnson.
There's about a 50-year difference in there.
If they are engaged or not.
Steve Martin's he's always looked 50 or 60.
I know. Even when he was 25, he looked like he was old because
the first time I saw him was the movie Parenthood, and he had solid white hair, so I thought that's an old guy.
He's only supposed to be 31 years old.
Oh, yeah.
Ridiculous. Okay, are they still engaged? Oh, it says Dakota Johnson and Chris Martin have broken up. And that was how long ago? 3 days ago.
Oh.
Are they doing an action movie or is it a rom-com? What are they doing? Do you know? Chris Evans and Dakota Johnson.
Hold on, let me go here because we just talked about it on Friday.
Irvin says it rom-com.
Yes, but what's the platform? That's
the thing, too. It's we don't know. Is it on Hulu, Netflix,
right.
Amazon's crazy.
It's going to be in theaters.
It
is? It's an A24 movie.
Oh, A20. I like A24.
What's A24 mean?
It's the studio.
They do a lot of cool
Pedro
stuff.
Pascal is in it.
God, he's in everything. He's going to be in Fantastic Four.
What's it called? Materialists? The Materialists? Yeah, that's what it's called, The
Right now.
Materialists.
Okay.
Okay,
It looks
so
like a serious movie because Chris Evans has glasses on.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
It's real serious.
That's what you got to do.
He's on TV right
That's
now.
real
He's gonna look
serious.
Yeah, look at me.
All right, well, that's probably why this thing came around my Instagram, because she's out promoting her project, and that's just how it works. And I saw this a long time ago, and I don't think I shared it on Scoop, so I thought I wouldn't now. In the 70s, Tippi Hedren, who was famous for the movie called The Birds with Alfred Hitchcock, she is the mother of Melanie Griffith, who is the grandmother of Dakota Johnson. She had visited some Vietnamese refugee camps. Because when the Vietnam War was happening and all these refugees came here, they came here and they didn't have a skill or a craft. They didn't know how to get themselves, educated to make money. And Tippi Hedren was the single reason why many Vietnamese nail salons are Vietnamese owned. Why are the nail salons Vietnamese owned? All over the country.
So
All over the country,
she was over
not
there,
just
she
here.
noticed they did good nails.
No, she...
Boy, they really got this down here.
No, she went to a Vietnamese refugee camp, and she got them to learn how to do nails, because nails has a low, what do they call that when you're going into business? It's a low overhead.
That's true.
Okay.
It's a low overhead to do nails.
Yeah, just needed chairs and.
It's a skill you could learn pretty easily if you apply yourself. I mean, people at cosmetology schools, it's like 1,200 hours of nail time. You have to get that done, and you can get it done. And she said that something was missing in mass media about all these people who were just looking for a way to make life in America, and they didn't know how to do it. So there's a whole story about Tippi Hedren visiting the Vietnamese refugee camps and doing humanitarian work, and that's where she started the process for them to get licensed as manicurists, and that is why we have Vietnamese-owned nail salons.
That's pretty cool.
I know, that was really neat.
When's the last time you've been to one, Eric? You've done it before, haven't you?
I think I did it once, like 2004, maybe.
Oh, so it's been that long.
2004.
Yeah.
What are your talents? looking
Yeah,
like?
no kidding.
I just cut it myself.
Yeah, I know.
25 years.
But I mean,
I
would go there. I haven't
20
been.
years.
Guys are supposed to do that?
Well, I haven't. I
Yes,
started
you should
doing it
take
after
care
a
of
while
yourself.
when.
Is it too expensive for guys? Because you're not getting the nails. You're just getting.
It must be a cheaper
Well,
price.
I did it because the person I
Because
was
you
with.
just want to take care of your hands and your feet?
No, the person I was with at the time said, "Man, your feet are looking." Ugh. So I went there because I run and I get these calluses, and I liked that they would take that
Corns.
that cheese grater or
Please stop
whatever.
calling it that. That's so nasty. That is so
Well, whatever it is, they file your
Onions.
feet down
The
and
scraper.
it feels good.
You should,
I'll
as a
try it
man,
sometime.
take care
Try
of your
Tuesday.
hands and your feet.
Try
Let's
Tuesday.
bring
We'll
somebody
get our
up here.
feet done.
Yeah, I should. Especially if you're a single man and you're looking to date, girls notice a lot of things, including your hands and how you take care of them,
By
or
the
you
way,
don't.
Kevin, you've never done a manicure or pedicure?
That's your thing?
No, I have teeth.
Ew!
He doesn't have to buy a clipper.
You can chew your toenails?
Not anymore.
I bought this badass clipper on Amazon that collects the
clippings.
That's cool. Booster will go
I hate
outside
those
to
things
clip
always-
his nails, and it's very nice, so he doesn't get them all over the place.
I just put
but
my foot up on the toilet.
That's what I do too.
But then one, you don't know it because it's white.
They'll
so it
fly
just,
off.
And then someone sits on it. They get
you get a straight nail.
stuck on their butt.
I'm going to move along to this next
Because how do you know
story.
if it's white? You got to be careful.
I am
They go flying.
moving along to the next story.
Well, yours are yellow.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm moving along to the next story. Miley Cyrus.
No. You gotta do that.
Come on. We had time, Kevin.
Let
We
her
had-
do the Miley.
I gotta
Very
do this
high
Miley
point
story.
transition. Come on, guys.
No, disgusting. I'm not gonna let people go out like that with their breakfast.
good way to
and
go.
Eric's yellow toenails.
I don't have yellow toenails.
Yes, you do. He just said you do. Now you have them.
Hey, it's time for What's Going Down. H-Town.
All right.
Rula and Ryan Show.
Cleanse the palate another way.
There you go.
Oh, my God. That is so
Cleanse the palate
messed
another
up.
way, Ryan. We're waiting to cleanse the
So
palate.
when you're going down 59, you know the ivy that's all around Shepherd? Like those big
It
walls?
comes and it goes.
The poison ivy?
It's not poison ivy.
It's like the trellises.
No. They say the original goal for that fig ivory was to help deter and hide graffiti activity.
Oh, that's a good idea.
That's why they grew all the vines. And speaking of graffiti,
They should do that over the Be Someone train.
know.
Well, no, they finally got the Be Someone is back up again.
It'll be
Until it's not.
Yeah.
Well, it said moose coin the other day. or
Yeah, it
something
was like
that.
it was a cryptocurrency ad.
Oh, Lord.
I was like, wait, moose what?
People get original. They have to take other people's stuff.
I know.
I mean,
Just leave it
go
alone.
find another place to
Wait,
tag.
was this an actual business expense? So somebody in their corporate office thought, let's go ahead and put some graffiti on
Think
that
about it, I would.
wall
If
in Houston.
The guy we had in here that did the Be Someone,
Uh-huh.
I'd say, here, I'll give you 10 grand. or whatever, and put it up there, whatever my message is, like Moose Coin or whatever.
Because you think about the hundreds of thousands of cars that pass underneath that every single day.
I'm just too lazy. I'm not going to look up.
You're not going to look it up?
Moose Coin. Although I kind of want to look up Moose Coin. What is that? Is it Canadian stuff?
You're giving
no
him
idea.
lots of press, though.
It's a cryptocurrency.
Let me look it up.
While you're doing that, the Houston Texans are going to have Nick Chubb in for a visit today. If all goes well, he's expected to sign a 1-year deal with the team.
And where's he coming from?
He used to be on the Cleveland Browns, but he had a bad knee injury in 2023, and he broke a foot in 2024.
But he's not going to be our number one guy. Like, if he's healthy, and he'll be a great number 2.
A quarterback?
No, running back.
Oh, running back.
Uh-huh.
I don't know his name. I guess
It'd be a
always
huge
laugh at
move
it.
for the Texans, though.
Heck yeah.
And let's see, if Chubb does sign today, he'd be available for the Texans' 2-day mandatory minicamp. What'd you say earlier, Eric?
Oh, yeah. If it starts tomorrow, I'll be like, I'll sign on Thursday, guys. I missed the 2-day minicamp.
The practice, so you don't have to do that.
I'll tell my agent, okay, just think of something in like Article 1, page 3, whatever. Change things around. Buy me some time. I don't want to go.
I don't want to practice. About 400 stores selling hemp products in Houston might be forced to close if Governor Abbott allows the THC ban to take effect. Those closures could potentially dump between 600,000 and 815,000 square feet of retail space back onto the market.
What are they? What are people going to do for? They own those places, those retail shops,
You're gonna find something else to do.
rent.
They're screwed. There's
We're
a
losing
lot of real
rent
estate.
everywhere with giant buildings downtown. There's empty ones everywhere.
Yeah, what is actually
Greenway Plaza? I see it across from me. I see like 80% of them are empty.
Yeah, do we have a number
when you're driving,
from
you can
pre-COVID
see?
to post-COVID tenants and vacancies? Do we have like a Houston cross-section stat on that? I don't know. How many buildings still are less than half full?
It's not even Houston. It's all across America.
The one across my place over there by Tony's in Greenway Plaza, because I'm up on 20th. I can see in their building. I can see at nighttime.
It's
empty.
It's like most of it.
Wow.
On the side I can see.
Well, most of this building's empty. I mean, a lot of vacancy.
It's crazy.
It's the pandemic. It
And now
changed
these are all going to be
everything.
empty. At least these are getting rent to the landlords.
Yep, we'll see what happens if
We might get booted out and people keep behaving themselves.
Yeah, if we start unplugging things and kicking things.
We're on the naughty list again.
We're on the naughty list again. Okay.
How did Ryan
Had
Chase
to
get
bring
us
that
on
up.
the naughty list with the building again?
Money gets kicked out of
That's maybe for a raw
9801
feed.
Westheimer.
That's
Yep.
probably a raw feed situation.
You know
All right,
what
coming
it
up
is.
next. Did you
And
miss?
he won't be in it, so we can throw him under the bus.
You always do.
Coming up next, what happened with Alicia and Sean over the weekend after Alicia listened to her husband Sean with me on the phone offering him roses and he sent them to Cassandra? You'll get the recap of roses and the update next on the Rule and Ryan Show with Eric.